All right, good evening, everybody. This is Daniel doing a motivational minute as I'm headed home from work. If you join the conversation or if you comment, I apologize. I won't be able to answer them this time around because I am driving and I'm trying to drive safe. But thank you for joining as you join. But just want to talk a little bit about today. Yesterday I did a Periscope on the power of a mentor. And today I just wanted to follow up with that because my signal was cutting in and out, so I apologize about that. But the power of a mentor is something that you can't take for granted. A mentor is someone who has been there, who has done that, who has a different perspective, who has a different idea, has a different concept of how something should go. And I'm blessed and fortunate that my wife sometimes serves as my mentor. My parents sometimes serve as a mentor. But I also have two mentors that I look to for advice and for information and for understanding how I should think through process and protocol when it comes to every day in the workforce. And you just can't, I can't emphasize can't enough, take for granted the power of a mentor. I mean, they are here in your life to make sure that you don't have to hit the same speed bumps that they hit, that you don't have to struggle the way that they struggled because they've been there and done that. Now, the first part about finding a mentor, you can't just choose anybody and everyone to be your mentor. You really need to be specific with who you choose to be your mentor and why. It needs to be somebody in the field that you're looking to go into. It needs to be someone who shares some of the same passions as you. It needs to be somebody at a level of business or success that you deem successful that you really want to aspire to. If you're a firefighter and your goal is to be the best firefighter in the world and you get a mentor that is a swimmer, that may not be the best mentor for you in this case of making sure that you can grow toward success in the career field that you're in. So know that the more specific you are and the more selective you are with who your mentor is, the better you'll be as far as getting information that is really going to assist you in the future. So as you're selecting your mentor, it's kind of like an interview process. And as I mentioned, I see a comment, but unfortunately I'm driving, I can't comment. I was paused at a stoplight. I am in the entertainment industry, so film and television. As I'm driving, if I'm at a stoplight, I'll definitely comment, but if I'm not, I apologize. But thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening, and we'll go from there. But when you're choosing your mentor, it's kind of like an interview process. You need to make sure that you gel with that person. You need to make sure that you get along with that person, and you need to make sure that that person is gonna shoot from the hip. You can't have a mentor that sugarcoats anything for you. You can't have a mentor that is too vanilla, is too neutral, and doesn't tell you like it is. You need someone in your life who is going to tell you like it is, and they respect you enough and they see your potential enough to really give it to you like it is. And when you do that, that sets you up for success. That makes sure that you can grow, that you can learn, that you can understand what it takes to be successful by your standards. Success is finicky. Success is very finicky. What's successful to me may not be successful to you. My wife is into Fitspiration. You should check out her website, fitmomfergie.com. And when it comes to fitness and when it comes to a lifestyle change, for some people, success is to have an 8-pack, a 6-pack of abs. Another person's success is to be able to walk for 10 minutes without stopping. So success is very, very relative. And with my wife, with fitmomfergie.com, you get to see her story when it comes to Fitspiration, and she's got a 50+ pound weight loss journey after our second kid, but she goes into the blogging efforts and the lifestyle change of fitness and being healthy and eating healthy, because eating is about 85% of the process. And I mention her website so that way you guys can understand just the difference between, so you can see what success is for different people. I mean, success is it's whatever you make it. It's however you see yourself at the end of the day. That is what can dictate or determine if you're successful in what you're doing. So that is no different than when you're searching for a mentor. Because in searching for a mentor, you want someone who will catapult you to that level of success that in your mind is where you want to get to. And ideally, that person, whoever is your mentor, will assist in in stretching your boundaries and stretching your potential. So that way, maybe what you thought was successful is great for this season, but where you need to get to as far as levels of success is far beyond your wildest dreams until this mentor comes in to open up your horizon, to broaden your horizon with what you're doing. So I love my mentors. They shoot it to me straight. They make sure that they check me if I'm wrong. They applaud me when I'm right, but they also keep telling me to keep going. To keep going, knowing that I can make it, that I can do it, that I'm on the right track. Thank you all for the hearts. I appreciate it. But the mentor is your, if they're not pushing you to be great, if they're not pushing you toward and beyond the level of success that you see, then they may not be the right person as your mentor. But here's the thing. When you have a mentor, especially in the field that you're in, you cannot take that mentor for granted. Yes, they're your friends. Yes, they are your confidants. I just see that someone said, how do you find a mentor? I'll talk about that in just a second. They're your friends, they're your confidants, but at the same time, they're still interviewing you. They need to see that mindset, that personality. They need to see your commitment to success. They need to see your business acumen. They need to see your understanding of what they're saying and what happens. Because too many people probably take their mentors for granted, and then if something happens, something drastic happens, say you get laid off from your job, you want to have a mentor in your corner that could possibly hire you if you want to go into that field, if you want to go and work for that company, if you want to do what they're doing. And because all of this is an interview, the more you're able to show that mentor that you have what it takes in any and every scenario, it helps you be seen in a different light. So we had a question of, does this apply for medicine as well? It 100% applies for medicine. So as I'm driving, I won't be able to see the comments. I'll let you guys know when I'm at another stoplight so you can ask a question. But question number one from you was what is it? How do you find a mentor? So you need to find somebody who is in your field, who is successful in your field, and you go in asking questions. Sometimes people looking for mentors, they do it incorrectly because they are looking for someone, they're looking to just get information. They're not looking to make conversation. They just have one goal. They want to glean what that person has to offer. And that is the incorrect way to get a mentor. You get a mentor by asking questions. You get a mentor by finding out about what the person who you think could be a mentor for you, what they do, how they do, what does their day look like, what does their process look like. You mentioned that you were in medicine. So if you're starting off in medicine, say you're in high school and you want to get into medicine, then you need to interview people, meet people who are in the medical field. Because here's the thing, most people are willing to talk about themselves. Most people are willing to tell you what they do, how they do, why they do, because if you show interest, then it shows that you may be interested in going into that field that they're in. So with that being said, if you're in high school, college, if you're a nurse, if you're a physician and if you're a brain surgeon and you want to transition into heart surgery, you've got to get to know people who are in heart surgery. But you don't go in with any agendas. You want to go in just learning about that person, genuinely asking questions, genuinely seeing what they do, how they do, what makes them tick, why do you love what you do? And in the process of that, you start building relationships. Because oftentimes, all of us have friendships where we're probably the only contributor in the relationship. And unfortunately, that's an acquaintance. That's not a friendship. And in these cases with mentors, you really want to make sure that you are building the relationship correctly so they know that you are inquiring 100% about them. You want to know what it is, how they do, what they do, and why they do. On the vein of mentors, tomorrow I'm having lunch with a fellow coworker of mine who is in a different field, but he manages the same, if not more, number of moving parts and number of people. So I'm going to go in with questions and questions and questions. Will he be a mentor? Probably not, but I never know. As I'm asking him these questions, as I'm getting information, as I'm getting advice, and as I'm getting feedback, this could butt into a third mentor for me that is someone who can help me with an area that I need assistance right now as far as just gaining knowledge. Everything in life is about gaining knowledge. As the Word of God says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. So as you have an understanding as to your field, or as you have an understanding as to where you want to be in life, then those are the things that can help catapult you to that next level. As I mentioned, my mentors have knocked at least a couple years off of my learning curve because I've been willing to ask questions and listen and execute. Because as you ask questions and they give you directives, you've got to show the mentor that you can do it. You've got to show the mentor that you're listening, because no one wants to give someone advice and then see that they didn't take it, or they didn't listen, or they didn't take that advice to heart, especially when it comes to the business world, or when it comes to school. If anyone listening is in college, you ask a teacher a question, you know what, how do I get an A in your class? And the teacher tells you and spends time with you and talks to you about it, and then you come back and you've done nothing or the opposite. You've got to be able to show that you can do it. You've got to be able to show that you can listen, and you've got to be able to show that you can follow through. And I can't impress upon you guys, find a mentor, find someone who's in your field, find someone that you can get excited to talking about, because at the end of the day, as you're interviewing people and meeting people, there's a good potential that that person, as I said, is not going to be your mentor. But what have you gained from that scenario? What you've gained is the ability to learn about someone in a different field, and to ask questions, and to learn and to ask questions. Because at the end of the day, you never know where your success is going to come from. You may have one definition of success one day, and you may have a different definition of success the next day. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide how successful you want to be. And in my opinion, in this motivational minute, I highly recommend find a mentor, get a mentor, and then work it from there. Go in with no expectations. Ask questions. Learn about these people. Learn about these individuals to see if there's someone that you really want in your inner circle. If they are, wonderful. If they're not, it's okay. You've learned more about somebody and you've taken interest in what they do. I'm stopped now. I'm about to be walking into the house with my lovely wife and my two beautiful kids. So if you have any questions and want to chime in, feel free. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And as I said, just finding a mentor, executing that mentor, and you should, consistency is key. When you get a mentor, you want to make sure that you are meeting up with them at least every 6 months at the minimum. So much can happen in your life within that 6-month time frame, where if you let too much time go by, then you've got too much to talk about with your mentor and too many things to try to adjust or too many things to try to do, and then it might get a little overwhelming. So I like to do every 3 to 4 months with my mentors. And again, it keeps it fresh. It keeps them knowing that I'm here, I'm asking questions, I want to know more, I want to know what's going on. And then we go from there. But that's it for now. I'm about to walk into the house to see my lovely, lovely family who I missed because I've been at the office all day. I thank you all for tuning into my Periscope. Remember, words bring life. Speak them into existence. Have a good day.